and welcome to this week's Schreiber Council meeting. The first item on the agenda will be an update from Superior Country on the Great Lakes cruise ships. The various department reports will be presented, and lastly, the issue of credit card payments at the municipal office will be discussed. Now here is this week's agenda. Thank you for watching.
My name is Suzanne Kuko, and I'm the Lake Superior North Shore Tourism Coordinator for Superior Country. And I'm here tonight to present a delegation to Schreiber's Council about the Lake Superior North Shore Cruise Ship Report.
I'd like to call the open session to order. First of all, I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Robinson Superior Treaty Territory and that the land on which we gather is the traditional territory of the Anishinaabe and the Métis. Can I have approval of the agenda for tonight's open session? Oh, good. Any disclosures of interest? Hearing none, we do have a delegation tonight. Suzanne from Superior Country on a cruise ship report. So
Okay.
go ahead. Thanks for coming.
And thanks for having me. It's always an enjoyable drive in the summer.
Yeah.
So we decided to send you guys and all the other communities a report, basically covering the last couple of years of how things have been going with cruise ships and sort of where we're at right now. So just to give you guys a little bit of a background, in 2022, Tourism Thunderbird, which is crazy, it's only 2 years ago that they welcomed their first, cruise ships in some time, and things have just exploded for them, which is great. And Silver Islet that year also welcomed their first cruise ships ever, which was pretty cool. So the cruise ships that came had a very positive experience, and they were interested in coming back again. So Superior Country saw the potential for growth with the cruise ship and the cruise ships and their economic impact. And the potential for the growth up to the North Shore. So when we started talking to Parks Canada and other communities, we realized that we needed a plan in order to move forward to make sure that the communities and the businesses are market ready for cruise ships, because it's one of those things where they can pick and choose where they go. And if they have a negative experience and their guests have a negative experience, they're not coming back. So we wanted to make sure that we were ready for that expansion. So we started our plan. We got some funding from Parks Canada, and we did a Lake Superior North Shore cruise ship readiness plan. So it was completed December 2022. And we went to all the communities and consulted with the communities and the businesses to see where we're at and where the gaps are. So the report, or the plan, is intended to serve as a practical resource for attracting and as well as hosting the cruise ships in the Lake Superior North Shore region from Silver Islet to Marathon. So the plan did recommend that Superior Country be the entity to play the lead role in attracting and servicing cruise ships in the Lake Superior North Shore region. There's a lot of work that goes into it, a lot of work in the background, even for sort of the simple visits that we had last year. It was, especially for the first time when you're welcoming them, there's a lot of preparation that goes into it. So it's not really something that your economic development department can easily take on and probably do successfully just because of the capacity but that's not to say that through that plan we did recognize that those folks do play an important role in being the feet on the ground to help us out with local contacts for entertainment or food or what have you, right? So as part of that plan, we also, there was a lot of learning on our end as well, and we learned that Transport Canada had to give security certification to any community or place like Babel Island that is welcoming cruise ships where they're getting off of the ship and going onto shore, because you have to kind of think about it like a floating country. It's like a floating like country that they come and they come off. So there's it also has to do with security. So ever since 9/11, this has been in place where you have to have certification. So Schreiber does have certification. All of the communities do. So we're ready. We were also kind of given a heads up by one of the folks at Transport Canada that soon that process might cost communities money to undertake. So it was recommended that we get those communities ready, even though like Schreiber's not welcoming any cruise ships last year or this year, but you're ready to go and you don't have to pay to be certified, which is great. So sort of in parallel to that plan, things were happening so fast. We also helped out with a familiarization tour in 2022, in July, of 2022. And the GLCA, which is the Great Lakes Cruise Association, which we were a member of, they coordinated the familiarization tour, and we just kind of helped them figure out where they should be going and all that kind of thing, because they're based out of Kingston. So I believe there were 6 cruise lines that attended that tour, and the result of that was so Hapag-Lloyd and Ponant were 2 cruise lines that attended that tour, and Hapag-Lloyd came last year, they're coming again, and then Ponant is coming for the first time this year, which is great. And then in that same year, Viking was not able to attend that tour, so a Viking representative came up and stopped off in Thunder Bay, and I took them around by land and a little bit by water over to the Ginelda site actually, and so that's where they ended up this year, diving down to the wreck. So there's another water-based familiarization tour for planners that we were hoping to have done this year, but we need at least 4 people partaking in that to make it worthwhile, because it's expensive to do it. Yeah. So we did get funding for it, but we did defer the funding until next year. We're told that their staffing, like everybody else, everywhere else, staffing is difficult for them right now. So I guess it's hard for them to let go of some staff for a whole week for that purpose. So we're hoping spring, summer of 2025 we'll be able to undertake that and keep attracting more cruise lines to the area. So another part of the plan that we've implemented is the branding kit. So as you can see in your report here, we had a logo made. There's an identity guide about colors and how the logo is used, pretty simple guide. And then we've had this logo actually printed out on tablecloth, like nice, fancy tablecloths, and we have tents as well. Because we were told again through the market readiness plan is that's the kind of stuff that we needed to do. And sure enough, with Ponant this year, they want a welcome table with a tent and all that. So we're set, we're ready. So the next thing that we needed to do was to start promoting ourselves. As I mentioned, the familiarization tours are pretty expensive. So we did also put together a brochure to promote our area as well. So we have it also in French, and that's appreciated by folks like Ponant who operate out of France. Their English is not their first language. I did bring a printed copy for you guys to look at. I will take it back after that meeting though, because they're very expensive to print. So we only have a few printed. Yeah, so we send out digital copies when we need to. We also sent out, I think it was, which is a weird number, he asked for 13. Paul Pepe brought 13 copies to Miami for the Sea Trade there, which is a major conference, and also to the New England one, which is, he just came back from in New York City. So Tourism Thunder Bay has been a really strong partner. Our relationship with them is great because they understand that they're the hub, right? So they're a lot of the economic impact is with them, with hotels and the all the services that they provide, being a major docking port. But they also realize that the more that our area can offer to those cruise guests, the more cruise lines will come and the more often they'll come, because they're always trying to change things up for the guests, right? So they've been a really valuable partner. And also, yeah, I mean, those are great because we flex whatever they're looking for. We can sort of make it happen. If it's possible, we'll make it happen, right? So those just give the planners some ideas of what we've done or what we can do. But it's always, in the background that if you have anything else that you'd like to do, contact us and we can make it happen. So that's the promotion part. So excursions. In 2023, for the first time, we hosted 2 international cruise ship lines on the North Shore at Battle Island, totaling about 550 guests over 5 visits. And in 2024, we will welcome 3 international cruise lines for a total of 8 visits, which is very exciting. The growth there is pretty great. But again, we have to make sure that everything's positive and smooth, make sure that they have a good time and do come back. So this year, guests will disembark at Battle Island, Silver Islet, Red Rock, Rossport, and Terrace Bay. So that's not to say that there can't be economic impact to Schreiber. I mean, hopefully eventually we'll be able to get the land transportation, get them to Schreiber, come out to the Railway Museum and things like that. Again, what happens is we give them the information and they look at it and decide what fits with their guests, their demographic, their fitness level, their interests. So for instance, biking has a much older demographic, and the ones that we meet off of those ships are like ex-professors and engineers, and they actually come out with their big cameras and they're writing notes when they see like different plants and things. They're very interested in the flora and fauna. And then you have other ships that are more interested in other things, like they're more, the Ponal ship seems to have a little bit more of a younger demographic that are interested in more hiking and things like that. So they look and then they tell us what they want. We can suggest things as much as we want, but they decide. So yeah, that's another reason why we want more different cruise lines coming in, because they have all different interests and demographics with their guests. Yeah, so the other thing is, as I was saying, it's not to say that Schreiber doesn't benefit at all. For instance, we have reached out to one of your food operators in town to be able to offer food to cruise guests coming off the ship at the Terrace Bay Beach, and vice versa in Red Rock. We have someone who's going to be providing some items for baking when they visit Battle Island. Like we're just sort of wherever we can get the service from, and we try to spread that business out as much as possible. What else do we have here? Yeah, so going over that. So I did talk about Tourism Thunder Bay as a very important partner. We have received funding from the Thunder Bay CEDC MAT committee as well, for our familiarization tour, which we had to defer, and they let us defer it, which is great. And as I mentioned, Superior Country is a member of the GLCA. The membership is $5,000, and they they're from a bigger city, right? So they're used to bigger budgets. So at first they wanted each community to pay this $5,000 for the membership, and right away we just said that, I mean, the economic impact, especially at the start, is not there to even ask for that. So Superior Country was able to take care of that membership and have it for the whole North Shore, which was great. And again, the GLCA is the same as Tourism Thunder Bay. They go to all these conferences as well, and they talk to people, and they're really great at promoting expedition cruising in the Great Lakes. And the GLCA also coordinates, they have the contacts, right, to coordinate the familiarization tours, so they help us with that too. The Great Lakes Cruise Coalition is an interesting thing. So we were told that that was a good organization to join as well. But once we started attending those meetings, they actually changed the way that their group operates, which actually we lucked out in because they're not taking membership fees anymore, but they're doing the same thing. They're still promoting the area, but they're not doing it as a membership-based organization anymore. So Dan and I are like, all right, we like this. And it was great because I think I'd attended 2 of those just Zoom meetings, and it's a bi-national organization. So it's, you know, folks from Wisconsin and Minnesota as well. And I was at one of the meetings, and a guy emailed me after and said, have you talked to so-and-so from Pearl Seas Cruises? I think they're coming to Thunder Bay this summer, and you should get in touch with her. So I did. I ended up meeting her in Thunder Bay, and she wasn't going to come up the North Shore at all. She just said, no, I'm just Thunder Bay. And I gave her the pamphlet, and she was like, oh, okay. And then I found out going to Silver Islet this summer. Good. Yeah, as far as I know, that's what they said they were doing. So those networking opportunities are really, really important. So yeah, the GLCC is great as well. Okay. Thunder Bay already. Okay, and just to remind everyone who doesn't know too much about Superior Country, so we don't receive any operating funds from the government or anywhere else. We basically survive on revenue from our Circle Tour publication, as well as we're a membership-based nonprofit as well. So what we do is we've come up with a model, more of a sustainable model for the cruise ship work that we're doing, because the Superior Country is also a marketing organization. It's not really product development. When I came on board in 2020, that's when product development started being part of them. But for the most part, it's the marketing that's revenue for them. So we've come up with sort of a fee model where we're sort of like an agency. So we sort of we charge a 20% fee on top of different things that we do. It's a security fee for the community. It's the per head fee that's charged, which is a very good advantage for the communities where the people disembark. There's a security fee that's charged, as well as a per head guest fee, and that goes straight to the community, which is great. So yeah, and then on any experiences and all that kind of thing, and then so that helps us to do the work that we need to do as well. We do use part of the North Shore funds to do, for instance, to purchase those tents and those tablecloths and all that. We used funding from that because that's product development funds for that project, but the project may not last forever, so we're trying to make it a sustainable model. Oh, and also, yeah, it's helpful for that because the cruise ships can take a few months to pay their bills. They do pay, but it takes them a few months because they're from Norway and they're this and they're that, and France. So it takes a little bit of time. So we're able to pay any service providers or outfitters or whatever within a couple of weeks, and they're happy. And then we just kind of wait for the money. They also prefer to work with one point of contact instead of 5 different communities. They are working with one organization, and they have me to deal with, and that's it. And they really like that as well, since it's less complicated, obviously. So, and that is it for my presentation. Do you guys have any questions about anything?
What kind of feedback are we getting from them? cruise operators?
We don't get, we don't get reviews or anything like that from them. I think I was at there were 5 visits last year. I was at 4 of them. And just talking with the people, they're most impressed with the lack of people around. They're impressed with for instance, there was one lady that got off with Viking, and she was this very slight, very older lady. She told me she was in her 90s, I think. And she was from Los Angeles, and she came off of the Zodiac, and she just went, oh, smell those trees. And I was like, what? Because we're not used to it, right? She could smell the trees, she could hear the birds, and she said, I have like COPD and I have asthma, and I haven't had no breathing problems since I've been on this cruise. So that's what they're looking for, and that's the uniqueness of this area, is that, you know, people are coming from the big cities. In Viking, it's mostly from the States, Chicago, Texas. And just talking with people, they were happy. They wouldn't be coming back doing the same thing again if they weren't happy. So, but we don't get like specific reviews or anything like that. I think they would tell us if there was a, you know, like say if we served some kind of cakes or something like that, and they said, well, they didn't like the blueberry, they preferred the rhubarb or something like that. They would tell us. And that's another thing with the cruise ships too. People are always thinking that they want meals, like we didn't want to have supper here or like lunch or something, but the food on the cruise ships it's included, and it's amazing. So they don't really come off the ship to eat meals. They come off the ship to, you know, taste some beer or to have a snack like with a local ingredient or something like that. So that's what they seem to gravitate towards too. Yeah.
So my sister and I are going on a cruise at the end of August, and I know like guests will disembark at these different spots. We had the same thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
That these are the different spots, and then when we were booking our excursions, they had a list. Some places had 4 or 5, some had 12.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing that guests would book the same way if they were on one of these cruises.
Yeah. So with Viking, the only thing we've done so far is just the Battle Island, right? Like they just get off it. It's simple enough, right? They just tell us what time they're going to be there. We schedule a bunch of different, arrivals. So with the French line that's coming, Ponant, they are offering their people things that are included in their cruise price and things that are not included that they have to pay extra for, which you've probably seen as well. So that would be the on-water stuff is extra, and any hiking or things like that they're doing is included. So they can pick and choose just like that, but it's not like a list of 12 things. It's more a list of 3 things.
3 things, because the suggestion was you book those things through the cruise line, because they'll make sure you get back on the cruise ship at the right time so that they're not leaving you behind.
Yes, it's all booked through the cruise ship on these, just because they're so small.
Yeah.
You know, like Viking is the largest one, and they have the last ship that came was full, and there was 378. It's interesting, 378 guests and 250 crew members.
Yeah.
So there's almost 1-to-1.
Wow.
The service is incredible. There's 20 waiters like swimming around the whole time, and you're just like for your every need.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah. But the Ponant ship, I don't know how big the ship is, but with them we have, I think it's 46 people on the first visit and 72 or 76, 74 on the second visit. So it's much less people coming off.
Right.
So it's really different for whatever line it is. Yeah.
So when you look ahead, do you see the number of cruises increasing, staying the same, and in future years?
I see them increasing, but I also see eventually that it's gonna taper off, because right now expedition cruising is kind of the last frontier. It's sort of the the diamond in the rough right now, where that's what people are looking for. So I think that once, it's also very niche, so I think that once those people that are interested in doing that stop being interested in doing that, or things like, there's only so much we can do here, we're only so big, right? We can't all of a sudden develop an amusement park or something like that. So yeah, I think that it's gonna taper off, but I think just personally, and I don't know for sure, but the way I see things going, it's probably gonna grow for about the next 6, 7, 8 years, maybe 10 years.
Yeah,
And then sort of peter off a little bit and just level off. Because they do like to do different things. It seems like the people on these cruise lines like to come back over and over again to the same cruise line to do things.
yeah, that
So
makes sense.
once their guests are kind of done, then they might move on to a different location. So.
Mhm.
But you never know. But expedition cruising is, they really seem to, they're paying a premium. I don't know if anyone looked up how much they pay to come here, but it starts at $10,000 to get on that viking ship. I thought it was like 5 or 6.
And that's for a week?
That's for 8 days.
8
Yeah,
days.
they can pay as much as $20,000 for a better, like the best suite. That you
Yeah,
can
the
get.
suites with the balcony,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah. And isn't it crazy, like our little area and people are paying
Yeah.
that much money? Which is, it's crazy, but we forget what we have here.
Yeah.
It's incredible, and it's so untouched that it's just so unusual for some people to see.
Yeah, it's neat to see there's people interested in that experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be interested to see how the French people see us, right? Because it's in Europe, it's so much more, even more crammed than
Right.
the United States, so population density, and it'll be neat to see what their interests are when they come. So.
Anybody else have any questions for Suzanne? Well, thank you very much then.
You returned your brochure, so no one pocketed it. Thank you. Yeah, and we will always keep you guys updated on anything that's any other. We'll probably have a report after the season is finished with numbers and that kind of stuff,
Right.
lessons learned and things like that. So. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, thanks a lot, and
Thanks, guys.
thanks for coming.
Safe travels.
Yep. Thank you.
Okay. We'll move on to question period. And I guess you have no questions? Okay. Okay, move on to minutes of previous meeting. Resolution 171-24. Moved by Councilor Burgeot, second by Councilor Morrow, that the minutes of the council and committee of the whole meeting held June 11th, 2024 be accepted as circulated. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Business arising from the minutes, committee of the whole recommendations, resolution 172-24. Moved by Councilor McGrath, seconded by Councilor Bryson. The council approved the quotation from Keating Insulation Incorporated in the amount of $5,540 plus applicable taxes to provide labor and equipment to complete duct cleaning at the medical center. Discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Carried. Resolution 173-24. Moved by Councilor Morrow, seconded by Councilor McGrath. The council authorized a donation to the Township of Terrace Bay in the amount of $250 for the 12th Annual Lighthouse Festival. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Resolution 174-24, moved by Council Morrow, second by Councilor Bergeau. The council sponsor the purchase of corsages and boutonnieres for the 2024 Schreiber graduating students of Lake Superior High School. Discussion? All those in favor? Carried. Accounts for payment, none. Unfinished business. Recreation programmer report, Heritage Days.
So after the last council meeting, the recreation programmer did revamp the budget, and he has it now that he does balance. So it's a much better picture for council for approval. He is waiting and hoping that there is one more grant coming in.
See that?
So if that does, then that will give him a little bit of a buffer as well.
And there might be more sponsors as well.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's good.
But we do have a very nice budget layout now.
Yeah, no, the budget's balanced. That's great work. You did really great. And even the event and activities, it looks like everything's pinned, everything's organized. This, great job.
Mhm.
Great job.
That's good.
Okay, I did have one.
That's right. That goes with that report.
I did have one question for the, I guess both beach parties,
Which side?
beach parties.
So there's a Schreiber Beach bonfire,
You're correct,
and then on Sunday, the beach party.
at White Sand. Are we not running a bus, or did I miss that?
Didn't hear any mention of
No.
a bus or any transportation.
How do we expect to get all cars, like I understand you get all cars down Lake Superior Road, but where's the parking?
Well, if it's anything like the last bonfire, I think Matthew is expecting 15 to 20 people, so.
Okay, I mean, it's just my thought, in the past, anything that was organized down that way.
Yeah,
And be truthful, I haven't gone to any, so I don't
yeah,
know.
we didn't have any transportation last time,
No.
and, yeah, the turnout was a huge turnout, so.
And I guess I guess the same question would be for White Sand, if we're holding the events outside of town, are we not supplying a
Do you know,
bus?
Rhonda?
And nothing was ever mentioned
Especially for seniors,
about transportation. He's never mentioned that to me, so.
it's just a thought.
Is that past precedence for like?
I personally don't recall anything ever out of White Sand, but I do recall stuff at Lake Superior Beach. And there's always been
There's been a pretty, yeah.
For fireworks, there used to be.
Yeah, well, we used to have host fireworks
Okay.
on it, but then like a lot of the community paying, right?
Yeah.
But I remember last year, because the thing of it is, it's in the evening, it's at dark, it's colder. You're gonna be pretty hard, you don't wanna go down there, take a tour to the red chairs and come back and sit at a bonfire. Mm-hmm.
There's probably room there for, I don't know if you're talking minimum 15 to 20 vehicles.
Yeah,
okay, I'm okay with it,
just a
an
question.
oversight,
Yeah.
that's all. I'm okay with it, if we all think it's gonna work, that's fine, I mean, the sight lines were all great.
Yeah.
Okay, that was
Yeah.
my only questions of it.
So the recommendation is,
I think we have the resolution from the last meeting, that, council does accept the event plan and the budget for Heritage Days 2024.
Can read that. The council approved the Recreation Festivals Committee plan and budget for the 2024 Heritage Days event scheduled to take place July 18th to 21st, 2024. All those in favor? Carried. Okay, there is no other business, so we move on to committee of the whole. And up first is the CBRE extension agreement.
This is an agreement to hold the court proceedings at the Recreation Center. So they're looking for an extension on the previous agreement they've already had. So it would be monthly installments of $200 on the first day of each month for the next term. The council was okay with that.
and they come once a month.
It's a good service. I mean, I think it
Yeah.
helps, and it's a good relationship to keep with the government for sure.
I- We're good with it?
Yeah.
Okay. CAO clerk report on the circle?
Circle, yeah. So
Agreement.
this is the company that does the driver's testing here in the building. It's another really good feature for our residents and surrounding communities to take advantage of. So they're just looking to renew their leasing agreement to use the room here at the municipal office at $212.58 each time they book a room.
And that's for the next 5 years, right, Rhonda?
Yeah.
I would lock them up. We don't want to lose that service.
No,
No,
that's a good
it's-
one.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yep.
Number 3, CAO clerk report on 2025 dog tags.
we are, as council is aware, we're getting CGIS, and there's a component to CGIS where the bylaw officer can track the dog tags, whether they're valid or not valid. It's not a huge savings, but I'm proposing to council that we don't get a tag this time with the year on it, that rather the tag stay, that number, with the life of that dog. And then when the bylaw officer goes through the program, she can print whose tags are up for renewal and send out reminder letters. Or, it's just, I think it's easier, and it does save a little bit of money, and it helps with the environment. We're not throwing them out every year.
Right.
So the municipal law enforcement officer is asking for council to approve that she orders 100 tags, and she had chosen the dog head number 200. Council's agreeable with this.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't see an
sure.
issue with that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rhonda, on our Township of Schreiber website, if you go to the section where it talks about the tags,
Yep.
They have the prices on there, which is perfect. But the website notes that there's an application form that can be filled out for your 2021 dog tags.
Oh my,
Maybe if you just have someone maybe just update that,
of
but
course.
maybe that would give you a chance to talk about, hey, in 2025, we're doing this differently, and it give you a chance to kind of start upselling that for yourselves too.
Sure, thank
I
you.
think the whole thing needs a review.
The website?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about it months ago about like certain user fees and stuff like that, and I believe nothing ever got updated. I'm not 100% sure. I seen some comments that it was getting pretty stale.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I come across sections as I'm looking for stuff, right? Yeah. But it would give you a chance then to say, hey, we're doing things differently. I think it's a great idea too.
Correct.
That's my only comment about that.
Okay, we'll move on with number 4 then, asset retirement obligations from the CEO. Right?
So asset retirement obligations, the Public Sector Accounting Board released a new accounting standard titled PS 3280 Asset Retirement Obligations, which is in effect for all fiscal year ends beginning on or after April 1st of 2022. This new standard addresses the accounting and reporting of legal obligations associated with the retirement of tangible capital assets. When Rosalie was filling in as the CAO clerk, she did reach out to a company called Englobe Corporation and asked them to provide the township with a quote for their services to complete this obligation. I did also ask Public Sector Digest to provide a quote as well. We already use the PSD citywide platform. They are the ones that actually uploaded all of our asset information when the regulation first came out. So I'm suggesting that council, with such a huge price difference, that we go ahead and approve for PSD to just continue on with the project.
So in their package, they talk about 2 weeks to 1 month, but there was no real hard, we can have this completed by date.
Oh, PSW?
Yeah,
Or
PSD.
Where do I get that from?
Yes, I read through their quote, which is great. And here's my only question. Because we need this report
Mhm.
to get our 2023 financial statements done, there's got kind of a timeline, it doesn't have any dates there.
Okay.
Do you have any sense about when you think?
I think it could probably happen pretty quickly. They could
Okay.
probably do it, within 90 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we really do need this to get our 2023 financials completed.
I mean, most of the data they've already uploaded into the system anyways, right?
Right.
So it's just a matter of doing some adjustments for the new regulation.
So if we can pass your recommendation, they could get started like ASAP.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only other thing I would note, Rhonda, is that when we were doing our capital budgets, we had set aside $10,000 for that coming out of working capital.
Yes.
I take no exception, because I kind of expected that the 10,000 was a little bit low. But you're just gonna wanna make a note, guys, that
Yeah.
we're gonna change that capital budget, and we were taking it out of working capital reserve.
Yes.
I have no problem with the amount. A timeline to me is a bigger deal.
Okay. I
I know with you guys.
can speak to Jordan to get a more definite timeline for council.
Okay, thanks. Director of Operations status update.
So the first part of my report goes into the boil water advisory that we had as a result of the pass pump going down June 9th. And just for clarification, the pass pump is what administers the coagulant to the water. The coagulant is a very crucial part of water treatment to make the water safe. It it takes the particles in the water and creates a flock. So these little groupings settle out and are filtered out through the water process. Through the treatment process. So if we don't have the coagulant in the water, it's unable to create these flocks. So it was a fail-safe feature of the plant is when the pass pump fails, it shuts the plant off so that we don't have any unsafe water going through. So as a result, we ended up, when we brought the plant back online, that's when we had issues with the turbidity, and we were above 1 NTU for more than 15 minutes on all filters. And that was the AWQI that you see attached to this report. But everything has been resolved. Tests have been received, results have come back, and everything is good in that respect. The other thing with the that we had happen this week was the officers from Environment Canada, which is the federal government. They were at the wastewater treatment plant, and they were basically just visiting all wastewater plants across the North Shore because it had been a while. So we were able to have a good conversation with them, and they are aware of our maintenance challenges that we have down at the wastewater plant. They are suggesting that we apply for a temporary bypass permit. That relaxes some of the regulations on the effluent, and that's where a lot of our non-conformance is coming from right now because of the issues we're having with the clarifiers. So I would suggest that we pursue that permit. When we are done with all of our maintenance upgrades at the end of this year, we can then apply to end that permit.
Is there a fee for that permit, Tammy, do you know?
I do not know. That's just based on the conversation that we had with feds when they were in town. So, but it's definitely worth exploring.
Yes.
So I will give the direction with your permission to Aqua to explore that. The other thing that we found out from them is that the focus for 2024 will be inspections on wastewater plants. And the last time wastewater plants were inspected was about 10 years ago. So the good thing that we have in our favor is that we have a work plan in place. We've already started implementing our work plan. So that will help us a lot with that inspection if it happens. And then automation now was down there working on the clarifier motor that operates the rakes. We did bring in the vac truck to suck that out, but it's become clear that we probably will have to bring a vac truck back again. They've got it pumped right down to the bottom. The bottom is pretty caked with some sludge because of it having been sitting there for a few weeks now. Aqua has told me though that if we bring in a vac truck, it would be beneficial to us to suck it right clean, bone dry to the bottom, power wash the entire clarifier, and then we're starting fresh. We can do a good maintenance check on it, and when we bring that clarifier back online, it will be healthy. The process will be optimized. So that's just a heads up that may be happening. I spoke with Aqua today about that. Solid waste, we did have a meeting with our contractor that is doing our solid waste collection at the curb. We just went over everything that we covered at the public meeting that we had to educate our residents on the bag tags. This past today was the last free garbage day. Starting next week, it's going to be bag tags. So we've also got padlocks that we purchased then that we can share with, we can sell to some of the businesses that want to lock up their garbage sheds, garbage bins, and then the garbage truck only has to carry that one key. So that's, we're all set to go there. Just as a side note, I did have a conversation with Circular Material today. I did confirm that there has been a contractor that has been secured, and we will indeed have our recycling picked up the end of July.
Because I downloaded the app, Tammy, and I can raise Terrace Bay Under, but I can't raise Schreiber.
What app are you referring
The
to?
Circular Materials app.
Oh, okay.
He doesn't recognize Schreiber addresses. I
Oh.
tried it too.
Yeah, recognize, when I put my old Terrace Bay address in, when I used to live in Terrace.
She wasn't able to share the name of the contractor with me
Okay.
until the final signatures have been on the
Okay, so maybe
contract.
that's the whole time?
That might be the
Okay.
reason why,
Okay.
but I
I would-
can look into that.
Is everybody okay with their going for their special license for the sewer plant, for the
The bypass.
bypass?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And thanks for that. Then, explosive ordinance. Number 6.
So we had an event, June 19th. The OPP approached the township and, basically explained that this was going to be, their event, and they asked us to participate. They gave us the directions. We were just responding to the OPP directions. So this report is for council. We did have a debriefing meeting after the event was all said and done. The major takeaway of this whole thing was, the devices were removed from town safely and no one was hurt. That was the biggest goal, and we achieved that. So, we did have, a couple learning opportunities from going through this event. It's not every day that we deal with these kind of things. So, the township did very well responding to the OPP requests. And, so in your packages, I've included, our debriefing, notes and some lessons learned and some opportunities that we can capitalize on.
And Tammy, did you have a chance to meet with Jan to ask him how his debrief went?
Yes, we spoke briefly, and we actually had Jan, participate in our debriefing meeting.
Yes.
And, so that, it was good that we were all collaborating, and we've all had some opportunities to do better. And we've also had the opportunity to take pride in what we did do right.
And again, I'd like to just thank the people of Schreiber and everybody involved in the operation, to handle it safely and get everything out there, and the cooperation and the patience of the people was second to none. So, I mean, like Tammy says, it's not every day that this happens. I don't know about anybody else, but I was feeling the stress that day, so. I'm glad it turned out the way it did. Okay, nothing else on that, then we'll go to, Director of Operations report on recycling.
So council asked me to explore, introducing a recycling program at all township-owned facilities. So I've done that. You'll see in your package a memo that will go out to all of our facilities. I've purchased some recycling containers and some clear plastic liners. And we've got a plan in place where Public Works has always picked up the recycling last Thursday of every month. Now, our new contractor will be doing that, so our Public Works then will pick up our town-owned facilities recycling and bring it to the convenience depot at the landfill.
And the policy's gonna come in the future, but that, I'm not even that much concerned with, but you're gonna have recycling receptacles located in different buildings.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there any on here you guys think we missed?
Well, good with it then? Okay. Director of Operations, Aqua expense request.
So this is for the back truck that I spoke of earlier. So in the capital list from Aqua this year, we had the, back truck to clean and inspect, the clarifier. The original plan was, kind of put on the back burner because of the leak in clarifier 1. But with the trouble that we've had with the rates in clarifier 2, we're back to draining and inspecting clarifier 2. And so further to this amount, we can probably expect to see another expense request later on for probably around the same amount. But we have to get the rakes freed up and we have to get the plant optimized.
And this is coming out of the operating budget, Tammy, so
Right.
this is an expense. If we're over at the end of the budget year, again in December, then we'll deal with that and move forward. I don't see how you could not do that, unfortunately.
Okay.
How often does that need to be done, Tammy?
So we drain and inspect clarifiers every year. We just alternate one to the other every year.
Okay. And they usually lock up because there's rags and other material in.
Yeah. To begin with, the electric issue that we were having down there, it burnt out one phase of the breaker, so the motor burnt out. And as soon as the rakes stopped moving, everything settled and just locked the rakes in. So now we have to clean it all out so that we can get the rakes moving again. And if we try and force it, we're just gonna burn out the gearbox.
Is there torque indicators on those rakes too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you like working here? Good for you. Thanks for taking over.
Yeah. Okay, thanks. Thanks, Tammy.
Okay, recreation and program report, the special occasions permit.
The recreation programmer did send a letter to the local businesses that held liquor licenses, asking for them to partner with us for Heritage Days. No one was willing to take that on. He then went to the user groups to see between here and Terrace Bay if anybody would like to take that on to raise funds for their group, and we did not receive response. Recreation programmer is asking council to decide if they would like to continue with the sale of alcohol and who will hold the license.
So the recommendation is that the township of Schreiber is going to have a special occasion permit.
Right,
But you need a member of council on that permit,
that would be responsible.
responsible for the event.
Just for the 20th?
Yeah,
Not possible on the 18th?
no, he's just asking for the night of the concert and the fair day.
Times it over.
I can do
1 AM?
I got zoning authority.
Times it over, 1 AM?
No, it's late.
I think Dave's got a valid point there. Somewhere down on this, here it's bocce ball too. So if we're just asking for a liquor permit for Saturday, then bocce ball is Friday night
Watch ball's Thursday.
or Thursday night. sorry.
Thursday. So maybe just,
Are people expecting?
And no, it's in here somewhere that
Mhm.
it says liquor will be served.
I think
You know,
that was
when
on
we
his
talked about
budget.
it at the meeting, like it wasn't, it was, the way I understood it was for like the whole thing and then just one night. He was looking for someone that,
Yeah,
For the whole weekend.
permits for the whole weekend, correct?
okay,
No, it's not. The special occasion permit is per event and per location. So the Saturday is at the same location, can be the same SOP. But if it's at the ball field for the bocce ball, different day, different location, different SOP.
Did we do this last year too? I don't remember.
They did have liquor
A
at the
member,
bocce
a
ball.
member of council,
Evan was doing it.
what's that?
I think it was Evan.
Which is Evan that did it?
no, the Heritage Day stance I signed
You signed?
Yeah.
when I got there because he needed someone who had, their,
Smart serve.
there you go. And he said, we're short, so I said, okay, I'll SOP, and I said, show me the license, and he showed it to me, I said, this license isn't signed, so I just signed it. I'm gonna be here, I'm not drinking, I'm gonna be, I can do both. So I took that on.
But did we apply for separate liquor license permits? I think that's what Dan was asking, like for the Thursday night.
For the Thursday night, I don't know.
That is the SOP, special occasion permit.
No, I meant like last year, was it like, should we put in an application for the Thursday night bocce ball and then set a second application for the
Yes.
Saturday?
Yes.
That's what we did?
Yeah,
Did you sign, so you only signed one of them?
I was there at the rec center on, well, we did the beer gardens during the day, and I went to the rec center at night to take one of the dogs, just to be an SOP.
So who,
An SOP,
so who did the bocce ball one then?
I don't know.
I believe Evan did.
What's that?
I believe Evan had his name on the bocce ball license.
I don't think that's fair to ask that young man to do that.
No, I mean, I'm not, no, I'm saying, should
Oh.
we not be getting one for bocce ball? Like,
Yeah.
are people expecting that because it was like that?
Okay,
Yeah, that's a big,
so then
it's a good
maybe,
turnout and everybody's using that.
so then maybe Rhonda, we can direct you just to make sure that he needs a separate license, that it's gonna be two.
Okay.
Okay. So that we can get two, so yes, we wanna recommend that he gets licenses for these events, yes?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not putting
I do.
them on.
And that a member of council be on that permit.
We have the fairgrounds from 2 to 5.
You can only have one name on that
Yeah.
permit.
That's it?
You can't do it in
So-
shifts.
So,
No,
no, but if, like, just say theoretically, somebody was on there and had to bail for reasons beyond their control, could someone take over or no?
I'm not sure.
I
I think,
don't
I
know.
think
I
the
thought-
person on the license has to be
I
there.
thought there was 2 names on them.
thought you guys lined it over.
Because when I applied, when I had a shag here, I had 2 names. I had someone and someone else.
person that is originally on the license application cannot make the event. There is a backup line on the back that you can sign
Okay.
Oh,
and be the person.
Heritage Days is in the middle of July. I'm gonna be around. I have take no issue with signing this and being around,
If you want to do that.
unless one of you guys want to.
I don't want to.
I don't mind, but like I
I
said.
can't
could
get, I
keep
can't
on
do
there.
that one.
Okay. But I'm normally at events anyways.
And I plan on being there too, I just,
Yeah, so if something ever happened, I could see Benjamin to take over for a little bit, yeah.
100%.
So then,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so I'll give them both their names then.
And then check for the 18th.
In lines.
Yeah.
Pardon?
No. Oh.
I'll give him a shake.
I was like, what's this term?
What is this term?
Thanks, Andrew.
I'm gonna be around anyways. It's no extra work.
Yeah.
Honestly. And he needed an SOP that night, and I said, well, then I'll just come down. He said, just to, just to watch what's going on and stuff. I'd rather do that than work the bar quite truthfully.
Get
It's a lot easier on the
get
feet.
set the bar.
Yeah.
So just to
you're good.
clarify though, the SOP that you're referring to
Mhm.
is not policing the area.
No.
This is the special location
Yeah.
permit that we
Yeah.
get from the LCBO.
Yeah, but then you also need somebody at the hall to kind of monitor what's going on, and I usually do that.
This isn't at the hall. This is outside of the town.
Yeah,
At the tent and the ball field, two
Yeah.
different, so, okay.
We moved on fast, but we're gonna make it one of those recycling things for the tent. Is that something we should do, or?
We can put a can there. Yep.
So we're all good,
All good.
okay.
good to go.
Okay, number 10.
So Evan just asked me to bring up for this report that there's a typo in this report. It should be 3 AM and not 3 PM.
Oh, okay.
Every time.
And the next line is also incorrect. It should be July 21st, not July the 1st.
3 AM, sorry Cecile, July,
And the
Right.
next line is, it should be 3:30 AM
okay,
on July 21st.
okay.
I think.
So with those changes? Good?
So we're good with that then?
Yep. I'm
Okay.
excited about the next one. I'm wondering how small you have to be to be considered a child.
What's that?
I'd like to go on this.
You could probably drive it.
Ooh, even better. Sorry.
We're not there yet. Number 11. Recreation Program Report Heritage Days CP Rail Kids Train. Road closures.
Apparently, the CP has changed the time of this, and
Oh.
it's going to be from 11:30 to, I believe he said 6:30.
So, but it's still on July the 18th?
Yes.
To 6:30. Well, that's actually longer.
It's going
Nice.
to interfere a little bit with, yeah, the bocce ball event, but hopefully it's two different crowds and
Yeah.
they go to both events.
Is that the Little General or the Puffer Valley
Puffer
Express?
Valley.
Is it the Puffer Valley?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's cool.
Yeah, we did
Steam
a
engine.
big steam tour, like the actual steam engine ran from Calgary down to Mexico City.
2816, yeah.
Yeah. And so that's kind of, it's been making its way for us.
We asked Andre to bring it up here for school to do. The guy we talked to, he was. Yeah,
That
was fun for the kids.
Yeah.
Be fun for Anne Marie too.
It will be
Yeah.
fun for Henry. I'll be there going, you got room? So with those time changes on the road closure, that'll suit you, Tim?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I think that sounds like fun.
Okay, we're good with that. Then we'll move on to the Occupational Health and Safety Committee meeting minutes. Any questions? Hearing none, then we'll move forward to communications.
Any questions on the municipal league minutes? June 15th board meeting, Mayor Mullins and I went on, attended the in-person meeting. We hold, I think we did a year, 3 or 4 years, three this year for sure. And we went on a tour of the windmills. in Dorian. It was pretty interesting. And we also discussed our strategic plan. And that should be coming up shortly, so
Right.
that's pretty well done. And then, well, actually at the minutes, if you go back to the minutes in February, there was an increase in the levy charge to communities. So it went up 4 cents a person. So it's now 10 cents. So there'd be an increase for Schreiber on that. Otherwise, the municipal would be running at a loss, so that's the reason for that increase, so.
Anything else in communications?
Number 4, I think we should support that resolution from the Township of Water Lake. That's asking the government for some help funding the cost of these AROs, which, as Rhonda just noted, is going to cost us.
17,000.
That's probably a good resolution for us to support. Because it's not so much for larger municipalities, they can kind of, I mean, I look at DSAB did theirs in-house, right? Some larger municipalities would have that ability, but for smaller municipalities, and the thing of it is, it's not even something you could choose not to do. You're gonna do it, so I think that they're asking for some financial assistance. We might wanna get on that resolution.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think it's support.
That's good.
Third and final calling for communications. Okay, move on to unfinished business then. Our draft policy, social media usage policy.
After the last council meeting when we discussed this, I had asked Beth Ann if she could, on recommendation, combine the two that were presented and to remove the separate policies for Facebook and Instagram, I think it was, or whatever it was. So this was the end result. Questions on the policy?
I read through it, Rhonda, I think it includes all the statements that you want, but it also includes all the checks and balances with posting. To me, it looks complete. It's nice. It's a nicely drawn up policy. I think you can go ahead and run that.
Okay.
Anybody else?
We're okay with it then?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, number 2, council summer meeting schedule. We ended up talking about this. We do have a lot going on with a couple different projects. So I mean, when we talked about it, Rhonda and myself, I think Dan Marie was there, Dan, I can't remember, but anyway, we didn't look at a holiday schedule. I looked at the holiday schedule and it will be tough. Not with us, but with staff. To hold a second meeting in July and the second meeting in August. We gotta remember that Anne Marie, Rhonda, and myself are going to Ottawa there too, so. That being said, if we need to call a meeting, like a special meeting, we will call a special meeting.
So we've currently booked July the 16th and August the 13th, correct?
Correct.
Those are our 2 meeting dates?
And those are staying the same?
Yeah, I think they can stay the same. But going either way, it was hard to do with the staff being off in that, so.
To just end up being so darn long.
Yeah, but we end up with 19 special council meetings.
And Benji looks excited about that.
No, we get, like I say, there's a lot going on right now, so if we gotta call some meetings, we'll call them.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it would be a good thing to get 2 meetings a month, but just ain't gonna happen. And if we need to make it happen, I mean, we'll make it happen.
I don't know.
That's me.
Okay, other business, credit card payment services. Again, I've been in the office. As you know, I probably come every day, except today. It's a graduation. But anyway, I've noticed an increased ask. And I should have talked to Amanda, but I've noticed an increased ask on credit card payments, especially with bank things. So I don't think we're gonna sit here and say that we want it, but how long would it take for you guys to come back with a report? Could you do it for the July 16th meeting?
Yes, definitely.
I have several residents have mentioned this to me, how much easier it would be if we could pay by credit card.
Well, and I see both sides of it, so, but if we can come back with, to come back with the report and then go from there,
Could you also look into like the user groups at the arena, if they can set up accounts to pay so they don't have to, like the figure skating club has asked me, like, so they don't have to write checks and all this other stuff. They can e-transfer or something easier than coming in here. I don't know if there's an easier way to do it, but
There is. So VADA, our accounting program, actually does have the capability of doing online payments
that would make life
without your
easy.
bank, but through our website.
Yeah.
But there is a cost to it, so we can definitely ask them.
Just can look into that, cause
You know,
that's something
with a
brought
credit
up
card.
to me too.
Yeah.
It's kind of a pain. Especially because everyone who works for those groups, not works, but they all work during the day and they may not be able to get here, you know.
Right.
yeah. No, I mean,
I think it would make it simpler. The only thing is, just because I know how these systems work, I think that people paying their annual taxes with a credit card is going to be cost prohibitive. I'm just going to give you a heads up with that. I think that would be cost prohibitive. But I think the rest of it would be okay.
no,
Well, because not, and I'll tell you what, the average person wants to pay with a credit card because you get air miles or you get reward points or you get, you know what I mean? So it's not that people can't pay, it's just that they like to use it. I think it's a convenience.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
well, and again, you're gonna have to,
just
you're
look
gonna
into
have
it.
to look at it and put
Yeah.
limit, maybe. I don't know.
Exactly,
I
yeah,
don't
who
know.
knows?
Residents at Walker's Lake can't pay their taxes on credit.
You could. That big enough limit, I'm sure, but nice try.
Okay, so,
We'll do.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay, so that will, resolution 175 -24, moved by Council Morrow, second by Council Burjo, that the meeting now adjourned at 8:18
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
PM. All those in favor? Carried.